area over through the arched door to the right there was the butler's pantry. When we redid this, we put the bathroom on the left side, little half bathroom, and opened it up to bring more light into the room.
That's really nice. Washer and dryer in there, I believe you.
Right.
And a neat little bathroom off the side as well.
Wallpaper,
That's so
I think
cool.
it's reminiscent of Mrs. Gladden on that right side.
Oh, no doubt. That's so cool. So I also read in your book, Chris, about her husband was trying to get in one night when he quite possibly wasn't as so welcome. She fired a bullet at him. And
Yeah, I'll show you where that happened. When we go
okay,
upstairs.
all right. I didn't know if that was downstairs or upstairs, and I didn't want to miss it.
I'll tell you that when we go back.
By
into
the way,
this.
that's beautiful wallpaper.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
if you
just-
can really tell, but your taste, your wife's taste, your taste, it's spectacular.
Now you're going in.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's neat.
They did, and when they were building this, he just had plain walls here, and I said, you know, what's behind those walls? He said, nothing, it's just space. I said, well then open them up and let's put china cabinets in there, because I always had a lot of china and stuff, so.
This is
it
going to
worked
make
out
the most
perfectly.
beautiful home for someone.
I just hope
who
somebody
appreciates
enjoys
its
it
beauty.
as much as we did.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be hard to outrun.
You get back here, and all of a sudden it's modern, because we bought this furniture when we thought we were going to a contemporary house. But when we came back here to this house, I said, well, we got to put it somewhere. So that's why this modern furniture is back here.
We'll give you one modern room.
Yeah.
I think you held Victorian fairly standard throughout the home.
But the master-
Oh, okay, this is the back of the home that you added on
Right,
and built for your mom.
right.
It's a beautiful room. Of course.
So, and then this had its own bathroom again. So, you know, it was a nice place, nice little place. for
Yeah,
them
she
all.
had everything she needed back here.
And of course, when we did bed and breakfast, this was the suite that we rented out. This is the one that rented out the most, because that way they've got their sitting room, their own entrance out here.
Yeah, that makes going upstairs.
Yep.
All right. Gosh, look at that floor. Man, I like that wide plank stuff. That's cool.
Came up in Victorian homes, the landing was always referred to as the morning tea room, because they would come out and have their morning tea while the cook and the maids getting things ready downstairs. So that's what this space would have been called back in those days. Of course,
I love it.
then it has a front balcony. And
Wow, a little nook outside on the second level.
this is a really normal thing on Victorian homes.
And a really cool view of Main Street in Salem, Indiana. Sweet. And those are transoms that help cool the place?
That's because, yeah, they use the fireplaces would heat up so much, obviously it'd be way too hot, and heat rises, so they open that up, heat could come out and circulate. This is one of the bedrooms.
How many bedrooms are in this place?
Well, 5, could be 6 if you use what I use for my office.
Sure. And square foot wise, what are we looking at
About
here?
4,500.
Wow, okay. Spectacular. Beautiful room right up front. Great view of Main Street. This is so nice. If I'm buying this house, I wouldn't mind some of these pieces staying behind. But I'm sure
We're planning on that as well.
Really, you're gonna leave?
If they want to negotiate the furniture, we'll leave it.
Now I love the woodwork in this home. This is, you look at these big baseboards, these big tall baseboards. That says 1890s right there.
Another interesting thing is that all the bedrooms have closets.
Which would have been unusual.
Back in those days for a couple of reasons. One, many counties had taxes for how many rooms you had. And they considered anything that closed off with a door as being a room. Therefore, you were taxed for a closet the same as you would for a bedroom. Mattie wanted to make sure everybody knew she could afford to have those closets.
Good for her. You go, Mattie. You go, girl.
This was her bedroom.
And why are you certain that this was Mattie Gladden's
Because
bedroom?
This is where the buzzer goes off from
Oh,
the safe downstairs, so we know that this had to be her bedroom.
interesting. Wow, this your home, Chris, is a showpiece. I'm telling you, this could be. That says something in itself that
Actually,
you chose to live here for 40 years.
The very first date my wife and I had, the very first date, I drove by the house and I said, I'm gonna have that house someday. I'm gonna live there.
Oh.
Another bedroom, this is our bedroom. It's another master, it's got its own bathroom. However, the bathroom for this,
Man, this is nice.
this used to be the maid's balcony back here.
That used to be the maid's balcony.
Maid's balcony, and we enclosed that and made it into a bathroom when we redid this.
How
And
nice.
that door leads out to the attic of the new addition, so it's for storage.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
So we're in the back of the home right now.
right.
So this is what you consider your master
Yeah.
these days.
Yeah, this is
Super nice. Super nice. I love all this elegant wallpaper. It is so beautiful.
This is the servant's stairs, so that goes
Ah,
down to the kitchen.
gotcha.
She could go down in the morning without
Two
disturbing.
stairways up.
Yeah, without disturbing anybody.
Hmm.
And if you were the maid, this is what you got right here. That was your room.
Nothing wrong with that.
Pretty small, but
That's
yeah.
okay. I could.
And you used to go across the hall there to the hallway that went back there.
It's a nice room.
This room, which now, of course, is a bathroom.
Nice claw tub.
Yeah.
Cool.
And of course, that wouldn't have been here when it was built.
Because they didn't have bathrooms.
Indoor plumbing. Yeah.
Right.
And so, but this was the receiving station, which simply means what that is. It had a dumbwaiter that went from the first floor to the second floor. And that got taken out also in the 50s. But that's where you would have serviced everything, brought things up and down. And so then when she wanted a bathtub put in, and when plumbing came into existence, at that time she had the clawfoot in. Now what I want to know is,
When you say she, who she
Mrs.
or with?
Gladden.
Mrs. Gladden. Okay.
Mattie Gladden. And what I want to know is how the heck they carried that thing up the stairs, because that is heavy. Iron
no.
with,
Oh my God.
yeah.
And that's thick too. That has to be a
Oh, yeah, 'cause
heavy
we
piece.
moved that thing to, when they were doing the floor, and it took three hefty guys to get that out the door.
That's so cool. That's a huge tub.
Yeah, it is. It's a big one.
That's beautiful.
And you want to know where she shot him from?
Oh, are we there?
We're here. The story with that whole thing is that they had a stormy relationship. That was well known, but they were divorced. And the newspaper clip said that Percy Gladden got off the northbound train in an intoxicated condition, whereupon he tried to gain entrance into his former residence, where his estranged wife shot him from the second floor window, wounding him grievously and causing him to be transported to Louisville for medical attention. But it's the last sentence that is so typical small town. It said, the newspaper is in possession of further facts, but we know our good Christian readers wouldn't care to know them.
On that note, I want to know every bit of those details.
I know.
And
But at that end, there's a bullet hole that went through the ledge. You can't see it.
you can't see it now, but that's where the bullet hole went
On
through.
the other side, yeah.
So she was in this room firing
And she
at
shot
Percy, who was trying to get in here
downstairs.
downstairs. So she
And
shot
so
down at him.
She shot down, but the bullet went through the wood and slowed it down enough then that when it hit him, otherwise I think it would have killed him.
Yeah. But
When we bought the house, the stairways ended right here. This we added.
so you added another stairway to the
Yes,
third level.
To the third floor.
How on earth did you match it so well?
Lots of contractors look, and they'd come over and I'd tell them what I want to do, and they went, no way, I wouldn't touch that. And Raymond Lee, who's
I know Raymond Lee. I interviewed him.
Raymond-
He took me around this and that.
yeah, well, Raymond came over one day and I was telling him what I wanted to do, and he said, well, that sounds like fun. The problem we had was, this is the original spindles, okay, this one right here. All up through here, it was just this spindle. So
Okay.
when we were going to add, we had to have a lot more of these spindles. Well, we could not find a match anywhere. So we went to Joe Lay's in Louisville, the antique dealer at that time, It's architectural salvage. And I had looked and looked, and he said, Chris, you're thinking about this all wrong. He said, get a different spindle completely, take out every other one up to where your new one starts, and that'll give you enough spindles.
Oh.
So the reason they're painted, though, is that these are oak, these are walnut.
Wow.
So
we're heading up to the 3rd level.
So I always wanted to have a library, and so this was the first thing we had, was this little.
Were you an avid reader of fiction? Did you like facts, novels?
I'm into old books. And,
history?
A lot of them are history. Most of them are history.
That's right up my alley, being the history geek I am. So this was at one time the attic, but you made it into a really nice space.
Yep.
And what you have created to be a library. This
And we did add,
really, you added
this
that?
as well. That's out of an old mansion in New York City.
Wow.
And then over here is my office.
Oh, really? 3rd floor office.
And actually, this was built for my son, youngest son. He wanted his bedroom up here. So it's got a closet and everything as well. So this was his little bedroom. But it makes a great little office space. It was going to be 2 more bedrooms, a sitting room, and another bathroom. And once we got these 2 done, I said, you know what? That's going to be for somebody else to do.
Yeah, I think you've done enough around here, Chris.
Get downstairs, I got one more secret place.
One more?
This was my folly down here today.
Ooh, look at this. Oh my gosh. I'm looking at original foundation, right?
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Whew, this home is going nowhere. Look at the block, the foundation block.
Yep.
That is incredible.
Always wanted a wine cellar. So
Oh boy, and you know right where to put them in this nice, cool
it definitely
area.
needs to be.
I love this little area. This foundation block.
Yeah,
That gives you an
solid.
indication of how old the home is,
It's
and
through the whole house too. I mean, of course, that's the
it's
foundation.
all on block like that, not just this little section. They don't build them like they used to.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
You know what it would cost? I mean, seriously, when you look at the material and the woodwork, the foundation, everything that they put into this home, how much would it cost to completely 100% replicate what you have in this home now?
Actually, when we started bed and breakfast, we had to have the house insured, of course, and all the other insurance. And so our insurance agent, he said, well, I'm going to go through and really give you an estimate with everything. I mean, to replace everything just the way it looks. And so he came back and he said, yeah, I figured it'd be around $5 million. So we said, well, you're not paying insurance for $5 million. 'Cause, I don't think you could build a house.
I don't think you could. You couldn't find the material today that's in this home. And if you're going to build a home, you're not going with this big giant block. It's going to be a poured foundation. You know the deal.
Right.
You cannot replace or replicate what you have here. This home is a Victorian gem.
Yeah, it is. It's a wonderful place.
It certainly is.
We've just been very fortunate
Yes, you
to
have.
call it our home for 40 years.
The life you've had, you know, your children. How long have you been married?
We've been married 40. Gosh, now you ask me that, it'll get me in trouble.
You guys are getting to know each other,
Yeah,
you and your wife.
yeah.
But I mean, the long marriage, which I admire and respect. Your children that I know you love dearly, like all parents do, raising them in this home, having the theater profession that you dearly love. You know, who doesn't want to get paid for something they love to do? I mean, that's really, I think, Chris, one of the secrets to life is to find work that you love. When you wake up every day and get sick to your stomach because you don't want to go to work, nobody wants that life. And so many people do it. The overwhelming majority of people in this country go to work every day at jobs they don't really like and would walk away from in a heartbeat. You loved your job, and I have a lot of respect for that.
Thank you. I told my students, one thing I always told them, every one of them, I said, look, you're going to find...
I hear footsteps. Is that Mattie?
That's Jenny.
Okay,
That's
Jenny. Okay.
I said, you're going to find a job that you love, but here's the deal. Suppose you get a job that you hate, but you stay with it your whole life, and then say, at the end of your life, what was this for? And I always told them, of course, parents didn't like me telling them this, but I would tell them, you know, if you get into something that you don't like, change. Go to something else. Do something else. You're not set in one job your whole life.
You're not a tree. You're not glued to the ground.
No, and that's very true. I think that's the key to it. And with me, it was teaching, and in college, I went to college just like a lot of performing arts people, thinking, oh yeah, I want to go and then try to go to Broadway and do all of that. But luckily, we did workshops with high school kids that would come into the college, and one of my professors would come through and check how we were doing. And she sat down for a while. It made me nervous wreck because she was staying in my workshop with these kids. And after it was all over, she came over and she said, look, Chris, you're a wonderful actor and a good singer and everything, but I saw passion with what you were doing just now with those kids. She said, you need to be working with kids and teaching them this love for theater. And I said, no, I don't want to be a teacher. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, that is what I want to do.
I'm glad she pointed that out in you, or you may not have discovered it in time or something.
True.
And I'm not trying to glorify the whole thing, because I know teaching is extremely challenging. It's not simple, and I'm not trying to paint it that way. I taught at the University of Toledo for about 6 years, and what I learned about teaching was that nobody teaches you how to teach. You have to figure it out, and what your students need and what they want. And the lessons that really hit home, and it's hard. It was difficult for me, but I loved it though. Are you guys sure you got this house out of your system? I mean, you're good to go now, right?
Jimmy
I'm not sure you're totally ready. Okay, I believe you. You did 40 years here, but I mean, I gotta tell you, this is one of the most beautiful homes I've ever been in anywhere. Not only for the character coming in the late 1800s, but for what you guys have done with it through the years. I mean, it really is magnificent.
Moved here for my first teaching job.
What did you teach?
Special education.
Oh, how neat.
Yeah, we met in church, in choir.
Oh, come on. I'm not buying any of this.
Church and choir, but now here's the best part.
I think you met at Slim-O's or something. No, okay, so you met in church.
Here's what's sad. I've lived in Salem all this time. I've never been in Slim-O's. So.
That's true.
I'm not from Salem, and I have been in Slim-O's.
Now, here's the best part of this. We dated a week before I asked her to marry me.
You only gave her a week?
I gave her a week, and she said, well, I
no,
don't
he
need...
didn't give me a week to think about it. He asked a week after our first date.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
And then she says, well, I don't even know you that well. And I said, well, I know, but this is going to work. I just know it. And so she said, she's going to wait. And it took her like 2 days later for her to say yes.
You have to respect a man who in 1 week's time knows exactly what he wants and thereby proved it 44 years down the road. I like that story. Right. I like that story a lot. You guys still like each other?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just checking, man. I mean, I got friends that have been married forever. And they don't. I don't know. The stories I hear is like, why did you guys stay married? If you
that was my standard joke with her when I said when we retired, because doing theater, I was gone a lot, working with shows. And I told her when we were both retiring, I said, honey, we're going to be seeing each other all the time. What if we find out we didn't like each other?
I just want to thank both of you for inviting me into your home. It did originate with the sisters down in the square, and they said, go bang. I go, I don't know him. Can you help me? She goes, just go knock on the door, tell him what you're doing. Maybe he watched one of your videos. So I got to tell you, it took a lot of courage for a stranger to walk up to your door, ring the doorbell and say, I want to see your house, But you've been so gracious and kind, and I so appreciate the invite coming in and being able to see this beautifully restored Victorian home. It's absolutely gorgeous.
It's been our pleasure. We love sharing the house.
I can tell.
Love sharing the house.
I do have to ask you one final thing, just about living and growing up in small town Salem. What's the experience been like?
You feel safe. I mean, all the time growing up, I don't think I ever would have locked a door ever. You had everybody looked out for everybody else, and it was just a really cool time. Of course, I grew up in a perfect time. The 50s and 60s were a wonderful time to grow up in a small town.
Interesting. I don't know. I think people tend to feel a little safer in a small town. That doesn't mean there's not issues here or any small town, but my God, I mean, I feel I'm comfortable here.
Yeah, great.
That's why I want to move in. Which room is mine?
Well, the suite, you got a bathroom and everything right there.
I'll take. I know what that story is. That the something you found in the backyard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what that
That's
is?
the monogram.
That's
The
the
monogram.
monogram.
Okay, so you were doing what were you? You were digging in the backyard?
I was going to put a basketball goal up for my boys.
Uh huh.
And when I dug, I hit just this little bitty corner of this.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't stop. And I got ready to pour the cement in, and I just saw that rounded corner, and I thought, well, what the heck is that? So I dug it, and then boom, there it was. Oops.
Martha Schultz.
Mattie Schultz.
Mattie.
Mattie Gladden. But she was Mattie Johnson first, and then she married a Schultz.
Martha Schultz.
Martha Schultz. And so that's when she moved here, that's what her name would have been. So that's why.
And you found that in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise.
When you were digging.
It'd be under cement right now.
So
It was
right under
located
carriage.
where the carriage house was. So that's how I know it was probably on the side door of her carriage. And at some point it fell off and just migrated itself down in all the dirt and stuff eventually.
What an awesome find. Awesome artifact.